Hey guys, and how about we watch a death battle, Darth Vader versus Doctor Doom. So of course make sure to click here to go to the official release, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So if you don't know me, I'm Grestar, and this is my brother Dart. Say hi.
Hey.
Isn't that awesome? Okay, so obviously now, for at least most of you who are used to my channel, I've never watched a death battle with another person before, but Dart here is a pretty big fan of Star Wars, right?
I am,
yeah.
Moderately.
I mean, you made that Chewbacca yourself, right?
I did.
And how long did that take?
Forever.
Yeah, so...
300 hours.
Oh, that's a long time. Yeah, so, pretty big fan. And actually, at this point, this is where I usually talk about how I might know the characters. So what do you think about this fight, Vader versus Doom?
I'm very biased in that I like Star Wars and Vader. I don't know a ton about Doctor Doom. I saw the original Fantastic Four movie forever ago.
That's like all I have to.
I can't even remember what his powers are. I know he has his own country, Latveria,
his own country?
Something like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you know?
And Doombots, and that's about all I remember of Doctor Doom. So.
Yeah, because like I know both of these characters, as in I'm familiar with them. A lot of these I haven't heard about any of the characters, but I know these two. I just don't know them in the same way the Death Battle requires, all deep and you know. Is there anything from like the comics or any other sources you've read about Vader that might have different powers than like the movies would have portrayed? Because that's all I really know.
It depends on if we're going canon or legends now, since they've gotten rid of most of the old information.
That's reasonable.
Legends Vader had a lot, well, demonstrated a lot more powers. So there's that, you know, like Star Wars Empire at War, the whole crushing tanks with the Force, things like that could definitely come in handy.
That would.
So there's definitely some potential there. Depends on what they go off of. Fantastic Four has, what, 60, 80 years of
and
comics
with,
as well?
That's a long time. With Death Battle, they can have non-canon sources for a character as long as that's also open for the other character. So it's perfectly possible as long as they're willing to delve in with both of them.
Yeah.
As for myself, yeah, I am rooting for Darth Vader for this one. But even though I don't really know a ton about either of the characters, I personally think that Doom is going to win. Of course, I know that I say that loosely because, you know, I'm going to have to rely on the analyses here. But that's where I am right now.
My vote's for Vader.
Yeah, as you can see. But how about it? Should we get to watching?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get to watching. Here we go then. Darth Vader versus Doctor Doom.
With metal chains.
These two masters of evil are experts at bending others to their will. But beneath the mask lies the scars of their past. Literally.
Yeah, Doom scarred.
Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the
I don't know to what extent though.
Dr. Doom.
I know Vader's all sorts of messed up.
Yeah,
you're right.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who
Wasn't that
will
like Soul
win
Calibur or
a
something?
death battle.
Maybe.
I thought one of the Soul Caliburs had Vader and what's his face?
Oh.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, this masked murderer was one of the most dangerous and respected killers among the stars.
Even though he's super
Nobody
slow.
stood a chance. He was
in the
a
movies.
force to be reckoned with.
Before
he was a Dark Lord of the Sith,
Use the pun
he was
eventually.
Anakin Skywalker, an innocent child sold to slavery on the harsh desert
so
planet
cute.
of Tatooine. Anakin was a prodigy mechanic, a prodigy pod racer, and a prodigy Jedi.
It's just all around
so
prodigy.
I'd say the junk
pretty
dealer
much.
who bought him got a pretty sweet deal. You know, apart from the whole ownership of people thing.
Yeah.
Then
Minor
Liam
detail.
Neeson showed up and measured his power level to find out that this kid was the chosen one, destined to do something great that would bring balance to the all-powerful Force.
That worked out well.
Whatever the that means.
Technically it did.
Freed from slavery and trained under Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin grew into an extremely powerful Jedi, capable of
That's the other
lifting
Clone Wars, right?
starships
Yeah,
and
the
crushing
general
buildings with just his mind.
one. And that's Dirge,
He
who's
quickly
awesome.
rose through the Jedi ranks to the very top and led the legendary 501st Legion in the
Is Vader
galaxy-wide
46?
Clone Wars.
I never even think about his
He
age.
also grew into a
I
really
guess so, yeah.
arrogant and whiny douche.
It's all Obi-Wan's fault. He's holding me back.
Naturally
Teenage
furious
angst.
to an extreme, the vast potential of the Force was intoxicating to Anakin. Unable to accept loss and pain, Anakin sought new powers to fix his problems. After a premonition of his pregnant wife's death, he decided he had no choice but to turn to the dark side of the Force for answers.
Where else would you go, you know?
Henceforth,
It's fair.
you shall be known as Darth Vader.
Despite being trained in the
It'd be cool to be
Jedi's
able to pick those
pacifism,
names.
Anakin learned that he was really freaking good at killing people and murdered nearly the entire Jedi Order. His punishment? A tearful breakup with his old master and a leisurely dip in a pool of lava. After some pretty intense reconstructive surgery, he was rebuilt as the black-cloaked Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader.
That's Rebels.
Oh,
If
cool.
there was anything you hated about Anakin before, don't worry, Vader is
Is this
nothing
also
like
Rebels?
that whiny little
Oh, no.
rebel
This is Force
bitch. He's a
Unleashed.
badass through and
That one
through
I
with one
recognize.
of the
Cool.
coolest
That's a new
voices
Hope.
of all time.
The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
Vader's body was sustained by his dark armor, a mobile life support system designed to protect what was left of him and intimidate foes.
The suit
works.
enhanced his vision, hearing, and physique. With his robot limbs, he can leap dozens of feet and lift several hundred pounds, all without having to use the Force. The armor
Really?
is even
Yeah.
dense enough to deflect lightsaber blows.
Partially cyborg, you know.
Hey, that's
Unfortunately
true, I
for
just never thought about
Vader,
that.
His new body had several problems. The armor was cumbersome and weighed him down. Much of it was mismatched, snagging and pulling on his body. His incessant raspy breathing often kept him awake. His
was made to
synthetic
keep him
skin itched
uncomfortable, so
constantly,
he'd pull on the
and
dark
the
side of the
control
Force.
panel on
Was
his
it really?
chest would sometimes
Oh, that's
beep
evil.
for no reason at all.
The Emperor.
You're saying in this technological marvel of an age, we can't fix one person who's fallen into lava?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
It's very likely Vader's Sith master, knowing his new student could become more powerful than himself, included these faults on purpose. While it caused problems for Vader at first, he quickly grew accustomed to his suit's limitations and modified his fighting style to complement his new stance and strength. And while his life support systems are vulnerable to electric overload, should the worst happen, he
Electric
can
overload,
use
Doom.
the Force to
That could
sustain
be bad.
himself for several hours.
Vader wields a dual-phase lightsaber. Unlike normal lightsabers, which are already cool as shit, Vader can manually adjust his to double its length.
I did
But
not know
if it
that.
lasts for more than 4 hours, he needs to consult a doctor.
With his unmatched connection to the Force and training in both
Rebels again.
Jedi and Sith
That's
arts,
pretty awesome.
he's learned a
dropped
variety
an
of
ATST on
techniques.
him.
Wow.
He can deflect energy blasts with nothing but his hands, anticipate his opponent's next moves, and increase his speed and strength. And though his mechanical limbs cannot channel Force lightning like his master, he can condense and launch a ball of electricity called kinetite.
And
know
he
that?
can always use
Sounds
telekinesis to
comic
lift
something.
people up and choke the ever-living hell out of them. A power that would come in handy if you ever had to deal with an annoying co-host.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Using the dark side of the Force, Vader embraces his passion and rage in battle, complementing his extremely offensive fighting style. The angrier he gets, the deadlier he becomes.
He's defeated tons of Jedi Masters, including Obi-Wan himself. He matched his secret apprentice Galen Merrick in Force combat, who is powerful enough to move Star Destroyers.
And he was
killed
young,
the
too.
doppelganger of Darth
Yeah.
Maul by impaling himself. Damn, that's dedication.
And finally, after discovering
French
his
comic.
long-lost son, Vader had a change of heart. He rescued his son by sacrificing himself to destroy the Sith once and for all. Or at least until the next movie comes out.
Darth Vader is impressive. Most impressive.
Darth Vader number 3 in the new comic series.
Oh, sweet. Is that what you just
Yeah, I
purchased?
just bought it the other week.
Cool. Well, there was Vader.
Alright, see you Doom.
Dr. Doom, master of science, sorcery, and his own country, Doom is undoubtedly one of the most dangerous villains in the Marvel multiverse.
I mean, just look at him. He looks like death itself. But before he was Lord of Latveria, Victor Von Doom was a gypsy.
His
Oh.
father was a highly intelligent doctor who
Why does he
died
weigh
of frostbite,
415 pounds?
and his mother just
Is
so
it the
happened
metal
to be a
in his skin?
satanic witch
Yes.
who accidentally sold her soul to the devil.
Oh.
Poor orphan Victor was determined to master both science and magic to honor his parents.
Science and magic.
And
Of course.
he did.
By secretly combining technology and sorcery, Victor made a name for himself with a number of miraculous inventions, including a robotic duplicate of himself dubbed a Doombot.
Oh,
Get
that's
used
where they
to
came
seeing
from.
those things. I mean, like every time Doom has been killed, it turns out it was just a Doombot.
This isn't Doom at all. It's some kind of Doombot.
No wonder he didn't use the ring. It's a complete fake.
He eventually
Right.
developed
He makes
a
really
machine
realistic
designed
ones
to
then.
take him to and from hell itself to
He's
rescue
basically a
his
robot,
mother.
so.
But it blew up in his face. No, like, really, it blew up in his face.
Oh.
After the accident, despite
He looks
his only
fine.
injury being a single
That
scar,
bad.
Victor was horrified that his always perfect face had been tainted.
Oh.
Victor ran away to the Himalayan mountains. and ended up joining a group of Tibetan monks.
He soon put them to work building him an awesome suit of armor to enhance his power and hide his face. He was
This is
so
nothing
eager
like
to
the
get
movie.
the damn thing on that he put on the metal mask before it cooled down.
Really?
Messing up his face even more.
Sounds
This
unnecessary.
armor magically severed his physical connection to the world, shielding him from the nightmares and transforming him into a cold engine of logic. Thus, he took the name Dr. Doom.
So just Doctor.
Call me Doom.
With his new armor, Dr. Doom soon conquered his home country Latveria, claiming the throne for himself.
Is he really a doctor?
Well, he was expelled from college, but he just gave himself a Latvian doctorate once he was running the country. So
technically,
yes.
What a cop-out. Those of us with degrees had to work hard for our doctorates.
You do not have a doctorate.
Yaha, check it out. Got it in poultry science. Specializing
Poultry
in the frying.
Well, holy
Seems,
shit.
legitimate.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Doom's armor is mostly made of titanium, but there's way more to it. With
Okay.
it, he's strong enough to lift buildings, survive blows from Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet, and one-shot the Incredible Hulk. Plus,
What?
it has
Really?
a force field, jet boosters, and energy blasters.
And also a molecular expander, which can enlarge small objects he keeps with him. Handy for turning tiny pebbles into giant boulders.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah.
I should look into this science thing.
The armor also has numerous methods of energy absorption and manipulation, giving him complete control over all sorts of machinery.
It might just be the most overpowered suit in comic history.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
it even has pieces of the true cross to protect against Dracula and other undead enemies.
That is
It
a
not
little
only
much.
increases his physical strength, but also his
No, he
magical
needed it.
abilities, which includes teleportation, mind transference, demonic summons, mystical blasts, and numerous other spells he's learned
Little
over the
overkill.
centuries. Yes, I said centuries.
Are you getting nervous?
Doom time traveled to the earliest days of
can just tell
magic
how
and
long
learned
he's been
all he
around.
could
Yeah.
before
More powers
returning
they
to
have.
the present the normal way, by waiting.
Ah, yes, I think I'll be immortal today. But as awesome as his armor is, Doom's still a badass without it. One time, Doom found himself stranded on another Earth, buck naked after being switched with his arch nemesis Reed Richards by a celestial. Long story. Anyway, he gets attacked by a lion, which he straight up killed with a single punch.
A single
Then
punch.
turned it
Okay.
into a pretty sweet suit.
Under Doom's rule, his country Latveria prospered. Its people loved their new dictator,
Really?
though the rest of the world was of a different
Yeah.
opinion.
Probably because he keeps trying to conquer it all.
Well, whether Doom is a bad guy
Seems
is
like a
up for
benevolent
debate.
dictator right now.
Sure, there was that one time he sacrificed the woman he loved to hell and had her skin turned into leather armor he wore, but for a long time, Doom's top priority was actually rescuing his
Bad
mother
thought.
from damnation.
And he eventually pulled it off. With that off the list, Doom did what any magically powered titan of science would do.
Which is what?
He went time hopping to the future.
Doom explored thousands of possible
Okay.
future timelines, and what he saw convinced him he needed to take over the world. See, Doom truly
course.
believes he must conquer the world, as that is the only possible future freed from suffering and want.
And
Oh.
he's kinda right. I mean, even the Panther God of Wakanda backed him up. And that guy looked into, like, all the futures.
However, despite his overwhelming power, intellect, and intentions, Doom is extremely arrogant to a fault.
It's ridiculous.
who isn't, though?
I can't even count
Well, I
how
mean,
many
if you're
times
magic.
Doom had
Yeah.
found domination within his grasp and then dropped the ball. I mean, one time he stole the godly power cosmic from Silver Surfer and still lost because Mr. Fantastic tricked him into flying into a power cosmic sucking force field.
But if
course.
Dr. Doom could
I mean,
just
who would
keep
expect
his
that?
ego
Yeah.
in check, nobody could ever stand in his way.
Your plan to destroy them has failed, Master. Failed.
Dr. Doom does not fail.
Now you know. You're getting ready to pause
Alright,
it?
The combatants are set. Let's end this debate once and for all.
Okay.
It's time for a death battle!
And pause. Alright, let's talk about this. I'm sorry. I think Doom. After seeing all that especially.
I don't want him to, but I can see him going that way because he's got so many freaking powers.
I mean, again, I'm still rooting for Vader. I still like Vader more. I do think Doom is cooler now that I know apparently he has good intentions. I didn't know that. I mean, a lot of people want to rule the world, but usually it's for their own benefit kind of thing.
Yeah,
If he
well-
actually looked at the future, it's like, wow, I have to save it kind of thing. You know?
Right, but his getting there is also involving killing people and imposing his will. And
Well, I'm not
giving free
saying
choice, and
I
that
would
sort of thing.
agree. I'm not saying I would agree, but given intentions, the best villain is one you can understand, one you can sympathize with.
Well, on that note, Darth Vader's also that way because the reason he goes with the Empire.
I'm not saying that Vader's bad. I'm just saying I didn't know about Doom before. Now I do, and he's a cooler guy.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for Vader. Though I think that Dr. Doom has this, because even during Vader's analysis, things would come up like how the metal could interact with the stuff, and like, that's not great. Or things like that. And then I was surprised by Vader's his strength, his speed, and everything, but then it sounded like Doom had more than that.
Yeah.
And it sounded like, Vader could sustain himself with the Force even outside of his suit, and he one-punched, Dr. Doom one-punched the lion with it, like without his suit. And
yeah. I would also like to point out that Dr. Doom has been defeated by Squirrel Girl at one point, and an army of squirrels. So
Are you serious?
Keep that in mind. Yeah, look it up. Squirrel Girl has defeated like Thanos, Galactus, Dr. Doom,
serious?
all the big supervillains. Squirrel Girl has defeated. So
I don't know a lot about her, but I know that she isn't fantastic.
no, she's part of the Great Lakes Avengers. So
that's impressive.
She's kind of, from my understanding, after anything, she's kind of like a Deadpool-ish character, so kind of out there in a way, but not in the same way.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem to take itself seriously, but I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it does seem like it's slated towards Doom. I really don't want him to win because
I know, and of course Death Battle has in the past just done a really good job of making people look great, even if they aren't. Even if they're completely outmatched, they've done a good job of making it sound like they stand a good chance.
I just think Doom seems OP because it's like, look how many powers I have from being
I know, I think that
forever.
Doom has more powers. He has a greater variety of what he can do, and it seems like a lot of what he can do can counter a lot of what Vader relies on.
Hypnosis in there?
There's mind transfer. I know
like,
that much.
Okay, it's like
there are some ways I feel like Vader could possibly win if he immediately resorted to a Force choke. But then Doom could just kind of counter that, and not necessarily counter that, but still attack in the meantime.
That's the other
he
thing.
could try to crush the armor around Doom because if he has tanks, but I don't know how strong the armor is.
Then again, Doom can apparently do that too. And Force-wise, they only touched on Vader's choking. They didn't really go over much else.
And again, we saw in Doom's, was it a Sentinel at the end he destroyed?
I'm not sure what that
Well, it was some
That
sort
had
of
an A.
robot,
Yeah.
But it was some sort of robot, and Vader is like mostly mechanical at this point.
So that seems like he has the advantage there.
And since he's mostly mechanical and he can't channel all of the Force.
Yeah.
As much as I like Vader, I do think that Doom has this one. So that's my vote.
I'll still
What about
stick
you?
with Vader.
Okay, you think he'll win then? Because I'm fine with saying.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with yes.
So
I'm hoping
Vader,
a full hat
Doom.
trick or something.
Fingers crossed for you. I'm rooting for Vader. I am. I just think Doom will win. So play. Let's see what happens here. Either way, regardless of who wins, they're still cool characters.
Lord Vader, we ambushed the rebels orbiting Felucia, but Skywalker escaped.
Of course he did.
I apologize. I shouldn't have been so hasty to begin.
An unwise decision.
Can he do that?
Yeah, he did it in Empire.
I don't remember through all of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
This farce is over.
Oh yeah, you can teleport.
Because why not?
Bow before me. Don't underestimate the power of the Force.
Alright.
I like how in all of that talking, we never once mentioned a lightsaber.
No, they didn't really bring that up.
I can sense it.
Well, they did. They mentioned it could extend, but...
Oh, sure, cool face. Okay, so apparently his armor is Cortosis or something.
I mean, it's hard to say when lightsabers only exist in the Star Wars universe, but there's bound to be some sort of, likeness. Oh, what was that?
Force pulse?
That was cool.
It is pointless to resist.
Visible.
You got this, Vader!
Witness the power of the Force.
I think that did damage to the ship, too, but...
Oh, great, it's a Doom bot.
All too easy.
Oh, of course.
What a farce! Enough.
There's a comic thing. Forgot what it was called.
haven't seen that before.
Beware my power.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Are they in a different time now?
What is the meaning of this?
Oh dear.
Look, it's dinosaurs. Okay.
Because why not? Oh! Oh, it's sad!
Well, he killed it.
Just super headbutt.
Volcano.
Impressive. Enough.
Is he trying to choke him?
It is pointless to resist.
I don't know what. No. Oh, maybe just shock through the blows.
Maybe.
You have no hope. Die. Got you.
Oh yeah. We don't know. We don't. Oh, we know.
Looks like it.
Darth Vader was extremely powerful, certainly capable of obliterating a basic Doombot. However, Dr. Doom himself is in a league of his own.
Vader may be the chosen one, but Doom's experience mastering magic and science trumped the Sith Lord. Plus, while Vader has proven his strategic prowess over 2 decades of experience leading an army, Doom has successfully led a country and then a whole planet.
And of course, Dr. Doom's armor is absurd. Its magical barriers and separation from the physical world have protected him from reality warping and telekinetic attacks from the likes of Thanos and
I think
the
that's
Silver
fair then.
Surfer.
Yeah. The lightsaber
Whose
bit.
power makes Vader's lightsaber and Force choke look like child's play.
And the Force
Even
choke,
if Vader
okay.
could get through that suit, Doom's mind is armored by his sheer willpower, preventing any of
course.
Vader's force-powered mental reading.
Well, that's the
or
thing in Star
manipulation.
Wars, at least.
Unfortunately,
You know,
Vader
strong-willed.
was forced to meet his doom.
The winner is
Double.
Dr. Doom.
All right, claps for Doom.
Not
Next time.
shocked.
Next time on Death
Alright.
Battle.
What we got? Mountains.
It's an anime. Oh, it's not.
It's a
Don't be Goku. Don't be Goku.
Looks
Ah,
like
it's
Goku.
bloody Goku.
Hey, look, his hair's red.
Ready for a rematch?
Looks like a
After
video.
hundreds of thousands of
Let's-
requests, we are doing this. We are bringing in Super Saiyan God Goku for the rematch of the century.
Yep, it's all going down live at SGC, our convention that we put on in Frisco, Texas, July 17th through 19th.
This is just.
So,
I
make
don't
sure you
know.
go to sgconvention.com,
never saw
pick
the
up a
first
badge
one.
if you want to be there. When
tell
we
you
do
once this
thing
ends.
We got some stuff special planned. If you can't make it, then make sure you tune into the live stream because yes, we will be streaming it live.
And then Goku versus Superman will finally be over.
Will it though?
Yes.
Will it?
Yes.
We'll see.
Yes, it will.
And make sure you guys follow us and Screw Attack on Twitter and social media. We'll see you guys at SGC.
Okay.
The internet at SGC.
Yeah. Bye, Chad.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Ben. Alright, so that's the end. Before we talk about the battle, I will talk about Superman vs. Goku really quick. For your benefit and for the viewers, since you don't know, Superman vs. Goku is the most controversial death battle to date.
Oh.
Because, well, this is the thing, I totally understand it, because with both Goku and Superman, these are heroes that you look up to in your childhood, you know? As you grow up, life might not be perfect, or maybe you're just bored on Saturday mornings or whatever, but like those are the people you look at. That's who models you, you know? Like for some people. Some people.
Fair enough. I've
just,
never
you know,
seen either, so
there are heroes, and you know. And in that one, I will spoil this for you, so I'm so sorry if you wanted to watch it, but Goku lost. And there's just huge debates, never ending, about, you know, who should have really won. And so, and then, you know, Dragon Ball Z's still going. Or some Dragon Ball, I don't know if we're on a new thing now. Or, I think in a movie, though, there was a new form, Super Saiyan God.
Oh.
And so now Goku can
Super
become
Saiyan
Super Saiyan
wasn't
God.
enough?
No, not even Super Saiyan 4, or whatever they were at. Now,
okay.
so that was God. And so people have wanted a rematch, just because they're, you know, they thought Goku before could beat Superman, now they're sure that he can beat Superman. Ben, I'm sure that you know what you're doing, but I worry Because regardless of who's going to win,
People will complain.
Because if Superman wins again, the Dragon Ball Z fanboys, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but fanboys, that's just who you are, you're fans. Or fangirls, I'm sorry. They'll be raging because, again, they got their chance, and it's kind of like rubbing it in their face if Goku loses again. On the other hand, if Superman loses, people will think that they're just Death Battle's doing this to quiet them down.
Not to mention, it opens up the floodgates for, my matchup didn't
Exactly,
win,
now
and...
other rematches can... the precedent has kind of been set at this point, and so just a lot of things, I mean, Ben, I trust you, and I hope that you're ready for this, because there's gonna be backlash anyway, Okay, so let's move on from that. Oh, really quick. No, I'm not necessarily excited for it. I wish it didn't happen, the rematch. But I will watch it. I'm sure it will be a great fight. I hope they introduce more cool things in the analyses for the two characters. I just think it's kind of not necessarily the best move. Now we'll move on.
I think they should just give them guns.
Yes.
That's all they have is just pistols. Then see who wins.
I'm pretty sure Superman would be invincible. He doesn't... Bullets don't affect him. Okay,
Magic pistols.
Vader versus Dr. Doom. Yes. Oh, well, magic, that's cheating. Superman's weak against magic. Goku's not. What, you won't go? I'm just kidding. Okay, but Vader versus Doom. Yeah, I don't know. The animation, I thought they actually made it look pretty close with that lightsaber stabbing him in the end. Which actually, now that I think about it, if the armor can resist lightsabers, how did that puncture him? Yeah, either way, definitely. I thought that the animation kind of made it look like it was closer than it was because the analysis, or the analyses for the two characters, I didn't see much hope for Vader.
Yeah,
Doom had everything.
Has too much versatility.
He does.
And, invincible armor that's separated from both magic and science. So it's what's left?
Yeah.
All the powers: time travel, teleportation, the big fire, whatever.
Yeah, whatever that was. Some sort of, the mental transfer, which didn't come into play, but it's there.
Because you look in Star Wars Galaxy, Vader's top of the food chain.
Yeah.
You look in the Marvel Galaxy.
Definitely.
Or universe, and Doom is up there but defeated hundreds of times. So that by the power of transference, that means that any of the superheroes who could have beat Doom at some point should then also be able to beat Vader.
Well, not necessarily, just because of the fact that it's not rock, paper, scissors. Different characters have different weaknesses and strengths and can exploit them differently. I have to point that out because there was a death battle between Batman and Captain America and Batman and Spider-Man. And so people say, oh, well, triangle. No, It's not quite the same. I get where you're coming from, and it's definitely a point to consider, but it's not definite.
Yeah.
I actually brought this up, too, during, there's another death battle, Harry Potter versus Luke Skywalker. Mm-hmm. And it was true, they're both the top in their worlds, but the differences of the powers in their worlds was just, it was big. Another thing about this, it wasn't necessarily a bad matchup in the sense of why did they do this? That was stupid. But Death Battle often goes with more popular ones.
Yeah.
So these were just often requested, just in case you were concerned.
They had a similar backstory and even physical relation. Yeah. So that made sense there. Both the scarred masks, bit of magic, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Right. It certainly was a pretty cool fight. I do prefer 3D animation. But for 2D, that was pretty cool.
Had some cool effects where they were panning and the lightning bolts and everything. Mm-hmm. That was good.
I think the thing that I was missing most from it, that I most wanted to see, was a real reason for why they fought. I am gonna jump to a 3D one for this reference, but looking back to, Solid Snake versus Sam Fisher, I really liked how they did that, because they had a reason why the two were both there, why they started fighting. This one, Vader was just talking to a subordinate, choked him, Doom stepped in, and then teleported. I didn't hear any dialogue that would explain it.
Yeah, it just seems like Doom just wanted to fight.
Yeah, and that seems to happen, I think, a lot more in 2D animations than in the 3D ones. There were some cases in 2D where, they did give a brief sort of explanation, but I think that's what I lacked most, or what I thought was most lacking, because there was just not story.
Yeah.
And that
just
helps.
want to get to the fight.
Yeah, which isn't bad. If you really want to see just the combat, of course, go check out 1 Minute Melee on ScrewAttack.com if you haven't already. It's another show, obviously, by Screw Attack. But I think that would be one of my, if I were to watch 1 Minute Melees, that'd be one part I don't like as much. Because first, I love the analyses, learning about the characters. Oh, and just to jump there, learning about both Doom and Vader, both really interesting.
Yeah.
Because again, I really only knew Doom from the movie, which apparently was not accurate. And Doom just seems like a better guy than I had thought. And Vader, seeing just other little clips from what he's been in, hearing more about, what he could do or what he has been able to do, that was really nice, I thought.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool
even you were
backstory.
surprised by some things, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from the comics and novels that there's too much to read.
There's a lot of Star Wars material, but apparently a lot more Doctor Doom material.
I don't know when Fantastic Four was, but I'm pretty sure they were the golden age of comics or whatever, so it's been at least 60, 80 years.
So that's...
I'm gonna let her out.
Alright, was there anything more you wanted to add?
Nah, that's all I had.
No, I mean, because as far as the fight goes, you know, I thought it was pretty good for 2D. I think that a story element was the most lacking there. The voices didn't occur to me, so they were either from the games. I imagine they were from canon
Most of the
sources.
Darth Vader ones were movies.
Okay.
Movie stuff.
So yeah, I wasn't like at all bothered by that stuff. The analyses I thoroughly enjoyed. I felt like I learned a lot. I felt like they were really obvious this time. I'm sorry, I have a cat in my room.
Let her out if you want.
I thought the analyses made it kind of obvious. But
Yeah.
again, like I said, they have turned it around where they make it look like, because they have a good job presenting people. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So if you're good,
I will say I do think that Doom's finishing move seemed like a cheap shot.
throwing him in lava.
Well,
Or
lava, yes.
'Cause
But also
that-
just now there was already falling huge rocks. It seemed pointless, like, oh, now the pebble's a boulder. Like, that was just like, they just wanted to squeeze that power in. I feel like there could have been a better finishing move, but yeah, the volcano
which is
lava
fair.
in general was just...
Well, I thought the lava was a pretty good way to end it just because it was like a low blow.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look who's back here, you know?
That's fair.
But as for that, a lot of times in Death Battle, people do complain about not seeing a fight in animation, but usually that's only for the loser, because they think that would have helped them win, but I see your point. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Alright, we're gonna call it here. So with all that, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, of course, feel free to like, comment, and if you're new, even subscribe. It means a lot, it really helps me out, and I would love to have you guys. So, tune in next time for the next video, and until then, take care. Cue outro, go! Yay, go us!
I want to do that.